you have ever heard,
What's up, brother? What's up, brother? What's up?
then you may know of the guy who broke the internet, Sketch. But what you may not know is how this rise to fame all started. It all began in a small town just outside of Houston, Texas, called The Woodlands. Sketch, also known as Kylie Cox, grew up as a small, unathletic kid who loved to play video games, such as Modern Warfare 2 and Madden. And with him and his family being so close to Houston, they were naturally huge Texans fans. This love for the Texans and the sport of football pushed Sketch to give real football a try at the Woodlands Christian Academy. And this is where Sketch found a hidden talent. Sketch became a monster at linebacker for his team. He continued to get better and better, and with this strong passion for football, he was desperate to get a college offer. But unfortunately, by the end of his senior year, he did not hear from any colleges. And this is when Sketch decided football was not for him. Graduation was getting close, and Sketch still had no idea what he wanted to do with his life. But he put that aside because he knew he wanted the full college experience. And his whole life, his parents were pushing him to go to college. This is when Sketch attended Mississippi State University and joined the fraternity known as Kappa Sig. Sketch loved it, but he was doing most of his time partying and realized quick he was wasting valuable time. His grades began to tank, and he was at risk of failing out of college. This is when him and his family made the collective decision that he needed to move schools, and this is when Sketch would go on to attend 3 different schools throughout his college career, one being Oklahoma University. Over time, Sketch went back to the same unathletic kid who played video games all day. His grades were still terrible, and he was unmotivated by the fact that he still did not know what he was going to do once he graduated. And this is when Sketch made a huge decision. He finally decided college was not for him, and he dropped out. His family suggested against it, but said they would support him no matter what. And even though Sketch still had no direction, he had a gut feeling this was the right choice. Sketch became much happier and even started working out again, but he knew he needed to figure out a way to earn money. This is when Sketch decided he would start day trading stocks. But it didn't last long, as Sketch managed to lose his entire life savings of $20,000. Sketch was now at rock bottom. He was a college dropout with no money and no job. But the last thing that he wanted to do was work the traditional 9 to 5. This is when Sketch's older brother suggested that he join him in live streaming on Twitch. At this time, people streaming video games such as Fortnite were killing it. Sketch was desperate for money, and he knew he was good at video games, so he decided to give it a try. Even though they were streaming to only 1 or 2 people, Sketch fell in love with it and decided this is what he was going to do. But he knew streaming with his brother was holding him back, and Sketch decided to branch off and stream on TikTok by himself. Shortly after, he realized this was going to be a lot harder than he thought, and he needed to be unique in some way. And this is when the college dropout Kylie Cox became Sketch, the character we know today. He started gaining more traction, and one day a big streamer known as Jinxie noticed Sketch's talent and commitment. They started making collabs and became the funniest duo on the internet. Everyone loved it, but especially Sketch's awkward personality, and especially one phrase in particular.